Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, we are going to build our first MCP server, and that MCP server will run locally on your computer. And what we are going to do, we are also going to connect that MCP server to the Claude Desktop, and we will try to uh, see how it is working. So we are going to build our ticket booking MCP server. So and we will run that MCP server locally. So in the today's session, we are going to build this from scratch. I will also share the code and all the GitHub link so that you can able to also use that. So we will go step by step. First, we will try to understand what is MCP server, how MCP server works, and after that, I will show you starting from the starting from how you can create the virtual ANB and how you can create the MCP server. You can how you can debug it and how you can connect it to a Cloud desktop, and you can able to interact with that and book a ticket with the help of that. So let's start. Okay, so what we can think like we know LLMs are trained on massive amount of data, and they are trained on past knowledge or past data, and they are trained by multiple companies. Like we can't able to train the a large language model because it required large amount of compute, memory, resource, and all the things. So the large company like Anthropic, Google, OpenAI, Meta, they have trained their LLM and they have deployed somewhere in their infrastructure in the server. Now that LLM can't able to get our data. Like it can't able to get, let's suppose we have a database, so LLM have no idea what is present in our database, or LLM can't have the real time data. Like if you want to use any API or any weather API, any hotel booking API, any ticket booking API, so they can't have able to access the live data because they are trained on a past data, on a past knowledge, and they are deployed somewhere. Now there is a way in 2020 we have a tool calling functionality. So with the help of tool, they can able to extract with the external data and able to get the real time data or any data that they don't have, and on the basis of that we can pass that as a context. The LLM can use the tool, and they can use that tool and get the information of the latest information or any external information and able to get give the answer. So that is the main thing. You can see they can answer the question, they can generate the content, they can plan a region, and they can do many other things, but they can't able to access our database or book a ticket or call any external or internal API. So we have that tool calling functionality is already there. But what is the main problem of tool calling? Like if you are using a Google LLM, Google Gemini LLM, if you are using any LLM that is developed by Meta, if you are any LLM that is developed by Anthropic, if you are using an LLM that is developed by OpenAI. So for each, you have to write different kind of tool calling. Like if you are creating a weather API tool, you have you have to change the format if you are interacting with the different kind of LLM. So you have to change in your tool calling functionality because every LLM accept tool in a certain format. So you have to change the same tool if you are changing the LLM. Let's suppose you are playing with the LLM. There are four type of, let's suppose you have created a API and you are playing with the different type of LLM. That is it can be Gamma, it can be from OpenAI, it can be from Anthropic, it can be from anywhere. So for that you have to change the format of the tool that you have written, and that is the big thing. There is a no standard way till here that LLM should that LLM can interact with the external knowledge. So this problem solves by the model context protocol. So it is an open source standard by the Anthropic, and that lets AI model to connect to external tools, data sources, and action. So that is the thing that is bringing by the Anthropic a standard way. Now you don't have to write the multiple tools to connect to multiple LLM. You will bind all your tool to the MCP server and deploy at once, and you can now able to connect it to any LLM because now this is a standard. So you can see there is three things in the MCP server: host, client, and a server. The host can be your Claude Desktop, VS Code, Cursor, or any AI application that you are creating, and there is a client inside that, and you can also see this architecture. Client and server make a single one-to-one connection. So yeah, so you will build once. We can see here you will build once and use everywhere. You don't have to write the tool calling tool in a multiple way to connect it to multiple LLM. Now you will write once and you can able to connect it to many LLM. So that is the thing. So LLM sits inside our host, and there is a client that is responsible for creating a connection between the host and the server. So you can see, and the LLM sits inside our host. So on the basis of user questions, it can take the answer. It can take the answer on the basis of the available tool. So mainly we have in the MCP server, mainly we have three kind of things: tool, resources, and the prompt. But in this tutorial, we are going to create MCP server with the tools, tool calling functionality, like a ticket booking tool, where we have multiple tool to book a ticket, to cancel a ticket, to find a train, and all the things. Later in the video, in the next video, we can have also able to see what is the use of resource and the prompt. But in this video, we are going to use the tool calling functionality, or we will create a tool inside MCP server. So that is the main idea of this MCP server. It provides a standard way to connect to external data. You don't have to write the code multiple times to connect it to the multiple application or multiple LLM. So that is the main idea. It's a standard way. Now, if you go to the next slide. So okay, so this is the MCP lifecycle. So there is mainly a three phase. The first phase is initialization phase. The second phase is operation phase, and the third phase is shutdown phase. So basically, MCP works in these three phases. In the first phases, there is a handshake between the client and the server. So you can see initialize request. The client will send request to the server, and all the functionality will be exchanged. So protocol and all the things. Now that in the second step, server will send the response with all the capability, like what are all the capabilities the server have. It can be tool, it can be resource, it can be prompt. So that it's a kind of handshake kind of things between the client and the server. The second phase is, you can see, the operation phase, in which we can have a discover or execute. Like it will tell tool list or tool calls will be happen. Okay, a client discovers tools, and it can also execute. So these are things, and it are also notification kind of things, like if there is, if some tool changes is there, like let's suppose in the backend, if we are changing anything in the tools, so it will automatically reflect to the client, and it give a notification, and you can automatically refresh. You don't have to change the code on the client side and the host side. It will automatically sync in the background. So that is also the very good capability. You don't have to change the code again and again. And the third phase is shutdown phase. So where the connection will end and it will stop. So yeah, this is the main three phases: initialization, operation, and the shutdown phase. And here all the JSON exchange that you can able to see what is happening. So in the protocol is matching all the tool capabilities, and tool calling will be happen, and the shutdown will be happen in the third phase. If we go to next, so yeah, we can also see when you should go for function calling or tool calling, and when you should go for MCP server. So it's a simple one. Like if you want to create a simple calculator on the single query database, it can be doable. You control the full app, like you are building a custom solution, and you don't have to try with the multiple things, like uh, define the tool as per your conversation via API. But you can see it's a provide vendor lock. Tool definition are tied to the OpenAI Anthropic that we are talking in the first video. It's tied to a provider, API provider that you are using, and quick document and all the things. But if you do any changes on the tool side, you have to change your backend code, because it will. And if you are also changing your LLM, you have to also rewrite the tools for this from the starting. Now, if you go with the MCP server, all this advantage will be there. Portable across all the client, build once, reuse across the project. Team and organization sharing, you can also able to share it to team and anything. Auto discovery will be there. So yeah, these are all the advantages of using the MCP server. Okay, now how Claude Code talk to your MCP server. So Claude Desktop. So Claude Desktop will act as a host here, and there will be MCP client inside that, and user will ask the question, and on the basis of that, it will interact with our MCP server that we have deployed. And we have this, like you can see in this we have multiple tools: search, train, book train, cancel ticket, check PNR status, get train schedule. So there are all the things there, and this MCP server in the backend will interact with the SQL database, because there should be some database where all the things will be there, like what are all the trains, what is the price of from going here to here. So we also create a dummy databases. So this MCP server will in the backend will interact with the database where all the booking details, all the things will be saved, or it can be fetched from there. So yeah, this is a high level overview. And if we go to, so for this we have to also create a dummy data, because we are creating our own MCP server, ticket booking MCP server. So we will create some dummy station, trains, train classes, train schedule, and booking. So these are all the 5 tables, so we will create in our SQL database. And now we can see we have, when we connect it to Claude Desktop, here all the tool will be exchange. All the tool will be exposed to our Claude Desktop, search train, book train, and there all the argument will be there for all the tools. So yeah, and this is the we will create this main.py. So main.py will be look something like this. We have this MCP decorator, and we have this code. So we will go into detail. We will, because we will create from scratch. And yeah, these are all the connection step. I will show you how to go for a connection step, and how to create a project, how to install all the dependency, and how you are going to connect it to your Claude Desktop, your MCP server. So you have to edit your Claude Desktop config file in your computer. So I will tell you what is the location and all the things. So yeah, so when the user will ask the question, so it will happen. So you can see, show me the train from New Delhi to this. So in the behind, it will call the tool and get the things and return the available train. After then, you can ask, user can ask the questions to book the train, and it can also check the status. It can also able to cancel the ticket. So yeah, in the backend, Claude Desktop, in the backend called Claude Desktop, can able to use the tool, because it has LLM inside that, and on the basis of user query request, it can able to do the things. So yeah. So there are also multiple MCP server that are already existing, like for Devon config GitHub MCP server. There are popular MCP server that is provided already. You can go and use it. GitHub, Postman, Playwright. If you talk about Cloud, AWS, Azure databases, also all the databases are providing Postgre, MongoDB. If you offer go for a business like Jira, also Slack, Gmail, MCP, Notion. So they are all the MCP officially available MCP server, and you can go and use it directly, because they have already created and deployed it in their ecosystem. You can also create your MCP server and deploy it on the MCP hub. So there are multiple MCP hub available, so you can deploy it and anyone can use it. But do check the security kind of things, because you are using some other MCP server. So do check, you have to download from the official site. Don't use MCP server that is deployed somewhere, because it can have a security risk also. Okay, so let's build this. So I will show how to build this from the scratch.